had to remind. I gotta tell you about this because it's so fucking funny. Because we were on the road with Douglas, okay, and I remember we were sleeping in his Oldsmobile Cutlass, okay, and we fucking reeked of booze, and he was doing the porno fucking closer with the beer all over him, so he just smelled like fucking stale beer, cigarettes, all right, and it's in Houston in like April, and so when that fucking sun comes up, it's 110, okay, that's when we both fucking woke up out of our fucking stupor, sweating like pigs, and Doug goes, Ralphie, can I just butt fuck your titty or something like that? All right, it's really wet. I'm like, get out of here, you fucking creep. But that's how it was. He was just fucking bananas.
He was crazy.
He was bananas.
Really was crazy.
He banged Pokey. That's amazing. Okay, that's deadly.
You know, seeing him opened up my mind. Like
Yeah,
seeing
man.
Dice on tape that New Year's got me on stage. But in June of '96, I saw Doug Stanhope. Now, and I've said this before. Excuse me. I was a host at the Broker, and the first time Doug came in, he stayed with me. I had just gotten separated, and Doug stayed with me. I was the house MC. This is '92.
Wow.
Then he came back.
I didn't even know him then.
Yeah, then he came back 6 months later, and he had Evening at the Improv.
Yeah.
And he stayed with me again, and we kept in touch for a while. Then we disappeared out of each other's radar. And then I get to Seattle, and people are talking about this fucking Doug Stanhope. He won San Francisco. He's
Right.
the funniest guy in the country right
Yes.
now. And I'm like, is this a little guy with hair, and he's crazy? And they're like, yeah, no,
And by the way,
this guy stayed with me.
hold
twice.
on, man. You got to give him his dues, because the guy who came in second place when Dougie won the San Francisco comedy competition was Dane Cook, okay? And Dane was a motherfucker on stage. You think he's something now? Holy fuck, that kid lit it up. And, I mean, every time standing goes, I've seen Mencia get him like that. I've seen Chappelle get him like that. Sam Kinison get him like that. But fucking, I'm telling you, man, that kid's deadly, dude. Okay, Dane Cook, and Dougie still beat him. And it was murderous.
It was something that Lee. It was completely different than what was going on at that time. Like at that time, comedy for me was MTV, and it was on every channel. VH1 had comedy on Sundays. You know, MTV had two different comedy shows. Evening at the Improv was out. The three shows would put comics on. This was before Jimmy Kimmel, when you just had Letterman and Carson, you know, all that stuff. So you had all this comedy. And then the first two times I saw Stanhope, he was just a mid-local, racy type comic. I thought he was funny, but they were funnier guys. That time I saw him in June of '96, it threw me fucking off. Threw me off that I didn't go back on stage for 2 or 3 fucking days. Like, it made me think about, do I even want to keep doing comedy?
Fuck yeah,
Or do I want to get a day job? Because I don't know if I can be that good. That being that good is something completely fucking different.
Dude, I had that feeling when I saw Hicks for the first time, when I worked with Kinison, and when I worked with Dougie, and when I worked with Mitch. I got the same thing. Like, what the fuck am I even doing?
Yeah, like, what are you doing? That's when you know, you're like, wait a second. He's that good.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like work, or do you think some people just are born with a certain level?
I think there's both. I think there's... Dougie was seasoned. He had a certain thing in his personality that gave humanity to an act that I hadn't seen before. Pryor was great. Carlin was great. At that time, Nick DiPaolo I knew from Young Comic Specials, and Judd Apatow.
Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks I didn't really know. Let me
him?
just think. Let me just think before I answer that real quick. Oh, yeah, please. Yeah, by '96, I loved Hicks and Kennison. And Hicks was great for me, but when I listened to his stuff, it
was a little preachy.
It was a little preachy towards the end.
Yeah.
And that's when there was one particular tape when, anyway, it doesn't really matter. Once I saw Stanhope, it took me 3 days to realize what my next move was. 3 or 2 days to decide whether I'm going to get a day job or I got to go for this and work harder, but I got to be that guy. I got to be that loose. I got to be that free. You got to be that dangerous. You have to be that, out there. If not, you're going to be like the rest of the fucking dudes. That's why when he came here, he was getting banned from the Improv. The time he went to the festival and the burn victim, and he told the guy didn't move or some shit. He fucked a chick in Bill Maher's bed, and he had to write an apology. It was nonstop. They had never met anything like them at that time. He just walked into the Improv. And the Improv, they're not the Comedy Store. They're not gangsters. No. They're writers, and they, oh my God, you're not going to believe it. Yeah, they're witty and shit. He walked in there and changed it.
Back in the day.
There were rumors that he was walking people on Sunday nights, like walking the Improv and shit already. That's what, he fucking created, and he made it on his fucking terms. He went to war with 20,000 club owners, 20,000 of them on his terms.
Yeah.
He got his balls shaved on stage.
What?
Oh, my God. The chick never recovered. The
Yeah.
chick who shaved his balls, she ended up getting raped at the Magician Castle.
What the fuck? What are you talking about?
She lost it just from...
We're not laughing about her getting raped. We're laughing.
No.
If you know this girl, it's a fucking nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
It's a...
That was like the 30th one, right?
I don't know what happened there. I don't get involved. I just know
Yeah.
something was not right there. But yeah, everybody who shaved his balls that night was the kiss of death. Somebody got into a car accident.
Oh my God. And he hasn't stopped. You always, whenever I go on the road with you, you're like, it's not always like this for comedians. Sometimes they stay in bad hotels. Like, right, they stay in bad hotels every night, and they actually sell stolen hotel Bibles for merch.
Who does that?
Doug Stanhope. He went to a Periscope one day, and he was like taking...
He signs them.
And when he runs out of merch, he sells the hotel Bibles.
And they love him, man. His
Doug,
fans love him.
He's the real deal.
He's the real deal, man.
From his head. And you really have to appreciate that. Especially when you're here and you see all this bullshit.
Oh my
you see
God,
people pull up with a nice car and the ripped jeans, and they got the agent with them and the whole thing. Doug Stanhope has a fucking manager that 2 weeks ago was an assistant manager at Burger King. And he just met him.
Nah, he's a good dude.
What's his name?
Taylor?
Is he? No, I don't know which one is that. You never know with Doug.
Oh,
the one time the guy had rolling papers and beers. He just met him.
No, this is a different dude. He's professional.
Really?
Yeah. It cracks me up. This guy's actually got Doug fucking organized and fucking handled. It's incredible. The guy is great. He busts his ass. Immediately when he came in, he got Doug all settled in and fucking found out the ticket counts exactly. Fucking went and did merge, checked in 4 hours before, came back, make sure Doug was all right, had his suit pressed for him, ready to fucking rock and roll. That's how a tour manager should be.